my name is Suzanne Neff and I'm with New Home Solutions, and today one of our conversations is going to be about asking the right questions. If I were out looking for a new home, I would buy some index cards, 3x5, and on those index cards I would write 500,000, 2,500 square feet, December, no house to sell. And when I would walk into a sales office, I would just hand that to the salesperson, because if I'd been looking for quite a while, I would know that every salesperson is going to ask me those same 4 questions. And we wonder why the customers come into our sales offices with their guards up and with their backs straight and a little defensive, and it's because they hear the same things over and over and over again. And certainly we have to ask those questions because we need that information in order to sell them a home. But let's talk about how we might do it a little bit differently. One of the things that I suggest is to write down the questions you currently ask the customer and look at them closely and say, now how might I say that a little bit different? How could I get that same information by asking the question in a different way? We all know that we need to ask those leading questions and those open-ended questions. We need to know who, what, when, where, and why. And the most important question that we can find out from someone is why they're looking. But usually what a new home salesperson is going to say is, so what brought you out today? For me personally, I hate that question. It's one of the worst questions I think you can ask. If you ask me that question, I would probably say my car brought me out here today. So how can we ask that different? Maybe that you could say to them, tell me a little bit about where you are in your search for a new home. And if they say to you, I'm not looking for a new home to buy, I'm just looking, what you might say to them, well, I know you're just looking. That's great. My builder loves people who are just looking. So if you were purchasing, what would be important to you? All of a sudden you found out what they're looking for, because everybody's just looking. My saying is, one of my Suzanneisms, everybody's just looking till they meet the right salesperson. And I truly believe that. I believe that 80% of the sale is the salesperson. It's all about you, but it's all about your questions you ask. There's 3 words that I love when I'm asking questions, and I use them over and over again because it makes people relax and it makes them open up. And one of those 3 words are, tell me about. Tell me about what you're looking for. Tell me about your current home. Simple, easy, and they're more than likely going to open up. What your goal as a new home salesperson should be is that you have that customer talking twice as much as you do, and you should be listening. I jokingly say that every salesperson should have a little Buddha statue on their desk, not because I'm Buddhist, but because I believe that should be our example as a new home salesperson. He has a teeny tiny little mouth and great big ears, and that's what we should have when we're selling new homes. So my suggestion to you is, as you go through this process, write your questions down, figure out what you need to know, ask them in a different way. And remember, why someone is looking for a home is more important than your presentation. You want to find out the why, because if you find out that why, then you are sharing in their purpose. And shared purpose is the strongest connection that you can have with a customer. So don't forget, write down your questions, ask them a little bit differently, get that customer engaged and involved, and listen.